Evidently, I don't have video right now. Let's fix that. Hello, everybody, and welcome
Hey
to
everyone.
our next episode of Convesio Live. So, Eric, how have you been, man?
You
You
know,
know,
Black
Black
Friday
Friday
is
is
in the
in the
air.
air.
It's one
It's
of
one
my
of my
favorite
favorite
times
times
as
as
a
a
consumer
consumer
and
and
as
as
uh, a
a
Convesio
Convesio
employee,
employee,
just
just
helping
helping
to make
make
sure
sure
everybody is
everybody is
prepared.
prepared.
That
That
seems to
seems to
be
be
everything that
everything
we're
that we're
working on
working on
right
right
now,
now,
and
and
just
just
making
making
sure
sure
that
that
we're
we're
keeping
keeping
sites
sites
in the
in the
best
best
tip-top
tip-top
shape
shape
to
to
process these
process these
transactions.
transactions. So,
Other
other
than
than
that,
that,
not
not
much, my
much, my
man.
man.
How are
How
you?
are you?
Doing well. Yeah, I mean, we've been busy talking with new partners in the agency space and onboarding new customers, and it's been a great month so far. I mean, we can definitely feel that Black Friday, Cyber Monday is right around the corner. Our team has been incredibly busy preparing for all of our customers. And I think that's why we wanted to target really talking this week about our hosting and what differentiates our support. So I think that, you know, that's a good place
Oh,
to really start these live events more in a focused way. Last week was kind of an overview of everything we do, right? This week, let's just talk about where we really started, and that's our hosting platform.
Yeah,
yeah.
so
So
I was
I
going to
was going
jump
to jump
right
right
into
into
support,
support,
and
and
that's
that's
for
for
a
a
reason. I'm
reason. I'm
going
going
to
to
start with
start with
hosting.
hosting.
Don't worry,
Don't
Zach.
worry, Zach.
And I
And
know
I
we
know we
look
look
like
like
two
two
pretty
pretty
intimidating
intimidating
dudes,
dudes,
but
but
we're
we're
warm,
warm,
gentle
gentle
souls who
souls who
give
give
the
the
best
best
support in
support
the
in the
business.
business.
So as
So as
far as
far
our
as our
hosting
hosting
stat,
stat,
and
and
I do
I
come
do come
from
from
those of
those of
you
you
that
that
were, I
were,
think
I
there
think
were
there were
3,000
3,000
people in the
people in the
last
last
one of
one of
these
these
last week,
last week,
Zach. So
Zach. So
people
people
probably
probably
already
already
know
know
that I've
that I've
worked with
worked
other
with other
hosting
hosting
companies.
companies.
So
So
as
as
far as
far as
differentiation,
differentiation,
what we're
what we're
doing with
doing with
this
this
Docker-based
Docker-based
scaling
scaling
approach is
approach is
nuts,
nuts,
and then you
and then you
couple it
couple
with
it with
our
our
Slack
Slack
support,
support,
it's
it's
even
even
more
more
nuts.
nuts.
So
So
let's
let's
start by
start by
talking
talking
about
about
the
the
infrastructure,
infrastructure,
and
and
it's
it's
essentially we
essentially
put
we
each
put each
site in
site
its
in its
own
own
Docker
Docker
container,
container,
and
and
it's its
its
own
own
Docker
Docker
cluster, and
cluster, and
everything is
everything is
isolated. There's
isolated.
no
There's no
global
global
cPanel.
cPanel.
Everything is
Everything is
highly
highly
performant,
performant,
designed
designed
for
for
use
use
cases
cases
primarily
primarily
light.
light.
So lightning fast performance, the auto scaling, the horizontal scaling, where the containers clone themselves and load balance, essentially making the sites crash proof. Come on, it's all great stuff, and that's a different type of technology than some of our clients are used to using, that are coming from the world of VPS and shared resources and noisy neighbors and all the things that keep people up at night. So I have a lot of excitement around our stack, and just some of the things we're bringing with that, like Cloudflare Enterprise, comes standard in our plans. Redis, Object Cache Pro. So, the list could go on. We're just giving you a lot of great things for security, performance, auto healing, that kind of stuff, just out of the box without additional cost. So that's exciting for me. Do you have anything to add to my enthusiasm?
Yeah, I mean, I just want to focus in on auto scaling for a minute. I come from running an agency that did large scale WooCommerce, right? And it's really important to, during these massive traffic events, have a hosting environment that not only scales, but can scale as large as needed during, during a massive traffic event. So I think that that's one real differentiator with us, is that our auto scaling will give you extra server resources right when you need them, and it's configurable, so you can still control cost if that's a concern. But during flash sales events, things like Black Friday, Cyber Monday, you can uncap that and make sure you get all that traffic, because that traffic is conversion, right? And that conversion is money. So, during those types of events, you can uncap everything and just have all of the resourcing available to you. You can just relax and not worry about whether or not the fixed size plan you're on with some other host is going to just die in the middle of your sale. So,
Yeah, the last
big
thing you want
deal.
to be thinking about are your upgrade costs and a migration during your sale. So
Yeah.
I think you hit the nose on the head.
Well, and the other thing is that, with a lot of other hosts, because I've worked at a couple places now, right? And with a lot of
Yeah.
other hosts, when you upgrade, downgrading is difficult, right?
Yes.
And so once you upgrade to handle those, additional resources you need, they want you to stay there. And maybe you only have a sale one week every month, and it's mostly centered on 2 days worth of time that your email blast goes out, and you have a ton of traffic for 2 days, and then you don't have as much traffic for the rest of the month. Well, do you want to pay for those 2 days of traffic every day? Or do you want to pay for those 2 days of traffic on those 2 days only?
I think that's a no-brainer. And I think that's the beauty of the way we do the usage and utility billing and the way that we have the uncapped. But we're not delivering it in a way like a more traditional cloud big name provider that, during these events, getting support, you're going to need DevOps resources, all that stuff that our support team just gives as part of the service. And
Yeah.
that's kind of a good segue, I think, into talking about our Slack support. So honestly, I've never seen anything like that. I'm probably going to say this on every single call because I said this on day one and I said this morning. It is a symphony. So everybody's getting their own dedicated Slack channel where you can pretty much real time contact our team. And what is our team? We've got experts across WordPress, WooCommerce, PHP, everything that you might have questions on. And we know you. So you're not going to spend 20 minutes trying to get through to the proper person. You're not going to be filling out some clunky ticket that gets, you get an auto reply and you're just hoping to get a reply. We're actually there in Slack, human beings. It's unbelievable. And then access to other parts of our business where you're not getting transferred. So let's say you're talking to support, but you need to talk to services. That's right there. Everybody's already in the channel. You're not waiting to schedule that session, 2 weeks from now and hope that message got relayed to the appropriate contact. So lots of great stuff within our Slack ecosystem.
But wait, I'm not a number?
And Zach, you are Zach, and we know you by name.
Wow. Okay. Yeah, that's a
Yeah.
differentiator for sure.
Yeah, I'm used
I
to
can't.
being customer number 8,375 with 75 different authentication methods to talk to a AI widget and then get booted off after an hour. So I don't like that experience. I don't know about you,
Yeah, no,
especially when I need help.
it's not great, right? It's not a great experience for you. It's not a great experience for the support people doing the work either. And
Yeah.
so, yeah, it is definitely a differentiator here. One of the things that we find is that we are able to respond more quickly. First, we're proactively monitoring. So, if you tell us that you're going to have a scale event, we have a team that handles scale operations like that. And they will watch and make sure that your site stays up. And if anything goes wrong, they'll let you know and they'll fix it proactively. Right. And so that's a huge differentiator. Like, I have never had proactive support from
I've
anyone.
heard people talk about proactive support, but you tend to hear about it after they're being reactive. It's kind of
Yeah.
ironic.
Yeah.
So
And so, knowing that we have this team that'll look and make sure things are good, and they'll watch and they'll check on the site periodically just to make sure that everything is still okay during your sales event. And they'll help you to pre-plan and make sure that your site is ready. And, even beyond that, I mean, we will look and see, we can help with things like doing load testing and with, helping you optimize your site. We have a team of people that are dedicated to being able to help your site performance and help your site perform more optimally on our platform. And so all really, really good things that help to make sure that when you have these massive events, you only have, I've said this in a webinar before, but I'll say it here. You only have 3 seconds, right? 3 seconds from the time the page is requested until the time it loads before people start giving up. 46% of your audience will leave if your page takes more than 3 seconds to load. So the performance of your site is massively important. And for every second of page load, you lose 7% of your conversion. So you think about that. If your site's loading in 10 seconds rather than 1, you've lost, how much is that?
10 seconds, I'm leaving the site. I'm gone at probably 5. I'll be generous and give it 5 if I really want to shop.
Yeah, I mean, if you look at that, that's 63%, right? 63% loss in conversion. So it's really important that your site performs quickly, and especially during these sales events, because during a massive sales event like this, time is money. Not to quote the goblins from the Warcraft universe, but time is money, friend. And
time is money.
And so the more time it takes for your page to load, the less money you're making. The more problems people have, the less likely they are to return. So if you're in a position where you have hosting that makes sure that your site stays up and that it's always going to be fast and efficient, those things are differentiators that will take you above your competition and make you look better, right? And so really crucial. You don't go and buy, you don't go out and look at retail space and look at the place that has the lowest foot traffic with the worst possible location with no parking, right? So if you were shopping for a location for your business, which is what you're doing when you're buying hosting, right?
I'm digging this analogy, Zach.
If you're shopping for a location for your business, you want a place where you have high foot traffic, where you have the ability to handle a whole bunch of customers, as many as you can get into the store, right? And the beauty of e-commerce is that it is your salesperson. And there are tons of people that can be handled by that one salesperson. So this is an event that can scale, or a site that can scale beyond what a person can do, right? And that's the beauty of e-commerce, is that it gives you the opportunity to have the same website, the same resource, generate multiple simultaneous sales. But that only happens if the site can stay up. So
I don't know, Zach. People say hosting isn't sexy. This sounds sexy to me. This sounds like mission critical, like hosting, not a commodity. Hosting as a revenue source to keep your site up, to drive transactions and customer interactions and keep them on the site by page load speeds. That sounds very exciting to me, not like just adding to cart and getting a hosting plan.
Yeah. I mean, we're not a commodity host, right? We're never going to be. That's not where our focus is. Our focus is on enabling commerce-enabled businesses to make more money and stop worrying about their tech stack.
I love it. And it's just clearly defined. And, you see the general advertising out there. What keeps you up at night? And this is what we do. We keep your site up so you can generate revenue. This isn't a marketing tagline. This is what we do every day. And sales happen all the time, not just Black Friday, as evidenced by our scale events. So
they're constant, right? They're constant. Yeah. They're always happening. There's something going on pretty much every day. We have some kind of scale event happening for one of our customers. And so, for serious store owners using WooCommerce, we're the perfect choice. For agencies who want to make sure that the commerce-enabled businesses they work with have reliable hosting, that they're not having to go in and every day say, oh, well, I'll contact the host for you because I don't know what's happening, right? Our agency partners have dedicated Slack support channels with us that give them all of our team. So if there's a problem with one of their customers, they can just come into Slack and say, hey, what's going on here? Or if we see the problem first, which, by the way, happens a lot.
Yes.
If we see the problem first, we will reach out and proactively say, hey, we saw some things going on here. Can we help? What changed? Was a new update done? Did something happen to the code that caused this change? And so it's a huge difference. And McGinn runs our support team here. He does a great job of managing a team of high-performing experts, and they are
24/7 experts.
Yeah, and they are all over the world, right? We have every time zone covered, so that's how we have 24/7 support. We cover every time zone, and we have great people who do amazing work on everything from the DevOps to the development side, right?
Right. It's so much more than support in your channel. It's kind of stating it or underselling it as support, right? It first and foremost, it's there to keep your web properties up, and then it also for that thoughtful consultation and collaboration, especially at the agency level, or things that I don't know. All this pre-planning for Black Friday, all these consultations that are happening, and that's just our nature. That's our
Yeah.
nature. It will guide you to the right place. I personally hate the host blaming the app and the app saying it's the hosting provider, and you waste so much time. Just get to the problem. And it's not a blame game. It's a solve the issue game. So I think we do a really great job of that.
Yeah, we
It's just
really
getting
do.
to the problem, and then of course alerting everybody. Look what we found. Let's find the fastest path to resolution with the right communications at the right time. So, as far as other things going on, young Zach, I know we had a little bit of a late start. I know we're feeling that Black Friday goodness. We talked about our Slack support. We've talked about our differentiation in our hosting stack. What else do we want to talk about today? We got 26 minutes. 26 minutes to enlighten. Are there any questions out there that you have seen come in?
Not yet, but I did just put out a call on both the YouTube and the Facebook streams. A comment there saying if you have any questions, we'll answer them live right here. So just leave us a comment. We'll see them in our comments and reactions, and we can answer your questions live right here during this stream.
Yes. We don't want this to come across as a lecture or a pitch. This is supposed to be interactive. You can bring your questions to us. We're happy to answer anything across our whole portfolio or get answers to you, even schedule outside of the office hours window. This is for all of you. And Zach and I just have a conversation in between answering questions.
Yeah. Yeah, so I think the next thing we can talk about while we wait to see if some questions come in is our agency partner program. Let's talk about that a little bit.
Ooh. So yeah, we have a very exciting and flourishing partner program that at the core is driven by relationships. It's getting to know each other and respect how everybody does business, and then of course earn trust and solve problems for end clients, no matter if it's a bad hosting situation or just maybe an assist with something from our set of eyes that we might be able to inject some expertise to help the project come along. But we have a robust partner program that offers things like recurring revenue streams, discounts on certain types of agency plans. There's just a lot to it that isn't your typical partner program that is just saying we're going to give you leads. Sure, everyone wants leads, but how many leads are we getting? Like that, this feels very open, and a lot of companies say that. And sure, we have those too, but like this is more about generating a repeatable MRR type funnel for agencies, and enabling you to expand upon the different lines of business and offerings and solutions that you're able to present value to your clients, and have us as your backup to handle the support and of course the uptime for the hosting scenarios.
Yeah, it's a really great program, and definitely something that is a direct relationship partnership, like you said. It's not. This isn't us being a vendor and you signing up to be part of some partner program that gives you an affiliate commission, right? This is, we are truly invested in the success of your agency, which is a huge, huge thing, and is a differentiator between us and most of the other partner programs that are out there, where you're still a number. You may have a name to your partner manager, right? But
Sure.
but beyond that, you're still a number. Now, we did get a question in from YouTube from Daryl here, and he wants us to talk about how we're prepared for Black Friday and Cyber Monday.
Okay. So, with the usual process, Daryl, that's an excellent question. We were more than happy to cover that. So, a lot of this is proactive planning. So, the first thing we're going to do is assess how many Black Friday events that we have going on based on historicals from last year in our current customer base. So, we want to make sure that everybody has a proactive communication months in advance to be able to have a session and sync on what the goals are, what the expected traffic, any potential gotchas that might come along. Of course, we're having new customers contact us as recent as last week that have Black Friday sales, and that just shows you to the efficiency that we're able to, everything from discovery to onboarding to going live. We're able to take, those last minute ones even, and still position them for success. But we can do everything from with the assessment to pre-scale resources for you. We have a live person, it's not just an automation. We have a live person that's checking your site and monitoring the success of your scale ops event. Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah. Just things like that should be common sense that you don't see other places. We are in tune with your event and your sale and your high traffic driver to your site, because that's a reflection on us. If I get smashed, then we didn't do our job. Seems like a
Absolutely.
very simple keep your site online.
Well, and beyond that, I mean, from the technical
And
perspective, the way that our hosting is architected, we have a load balancer that is what all traffic goes to for your site, right? And that load balancer divides that traffic across a number of containers. So normally you'd only have really one container unless you are high traffic all the time. But when there's a scale event, we have multiple containers. So then we balance the load across all of those containers to make sure that no one container is handling too much. And if the containers start to show that their resources are limited, our auto scaler will add more containers. And the load balancer will then divide the traffic evenly across more containers. And so this is called horizontal scaling, right? And what this gives us is the ability to deploy multiple lower cost containers versus throwing more bare metal at a problem, right? So a lot of hosts, the solution to a scaling event is, well, you're on our $500 a month plan, but in order to get you here, we need to get you on our $2,500 a month Enterprise 7 plan. And that plan is going to increase your CPU by X amount and your RAM by X amount and your disk space by way more than you'll ever need.
speeds and feeds.
Yeah. And that's the traditional hosting sales platform is, here's the specs of what you're going to get, right? And I mean, some don't, some of them hide the specs too, and you just kind of get some vague information about what it might be, right? So with us, yeah, we'll talk a little bit about the specs because the specs do matter, right? What does the base container look like? What's your normal traffic look like? And we'll size the base container to be able to handle your normal traffic well, right? But then beyond that, the scaling doesn't require switching to another server or 4 hours of downtime while you're moved to another data center, right? It's just these kind of ridiculous things that happen at times. So, it's really, really cool to see all of that happen and to be able to handle those scaling events with these optimal and awesome tiny little containers that honestly we can spin up in a couple of minutes rather than 4-5 hours of downtime, right? So during a traffic event, you don't want all that downtime. You want your site to just come right back up and to have the resources it needs, or to never go down in the first place, which is what our goal is at all times. So
I'm sure there's a lot of people out there watching and they're like, oh no, it's too late. I wish I had, at least consulted about or had a conversation around scaling for Black Friday. Let's have a conversation. It's not too late. We'll do our best. It's not, we have a couple of weeks. So let us, no risk, show what we can do. This is my sales part, Zach. I have to.
Yeah, no, you're good. I mean, the
thing
is huge.
The proof's in the pudding. Like, we can do it in staging and show you performance gains and show us a sample of our Slack support. It's hard to walk away from once you get a taste of it. And we just want to provide that premier experience. It's an experience. It's your event. It's your business. It's your livelihood. It's your customer if you're an agency. This is all super important. It's not just hosting.
Yeah.
And I'll say that over and over again. It's not just hosting.
It really isn't. I mean, there's a reason why I'm here, right? Because Tom saw a need for people who have agency experience in running large WooCommerce sites to be a part of the team here. And, and I had moved into the hosting space, and it just made sense for me to land at a place that, handles large traffic events for store owners and learning management companies and all of these other use cases that we work with, membership sites. I mean, commerce is much more than just, a shopping cart with physical products. So, and I think it's important that we start to differentiate and expand our definition of what commerce is online. Because normally you say commerce and people immediately think, oh, Amazon, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
And while they've become synonymous because almost everyone has a Prime account, it's not quite that ubiquitous. That's not the only form of commerce that
free
happens.
Shipping.
Yeah, exactly. So there are other things that are commerce enabled actions that can happen on a website, and we support companies that do all of them, from membership sites and e-learning sites to stores that are selling digital downloads or stores that are selling physical products that need to be shipped. We also have an integration with our payments platform that allows service companies that use QuickBooks to use our payments platform. I mean, it's
cool.
It's way more than just WooCommerce or an e-commerce site, right? I want to shout out Lauren from our partners at Open Metal. Lauren, thank you for watching with us today on LinkedIn and sharing the stream. We really appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you so much.
So, so I think that's a really important thing, is knowing that commerce is way more than just, what we traditionally look at it as. So
So that was, I think that was a great answer to Daryl's question. I think that was all Daryl's question that we were talking about.
yeah, yeah. Thank you, Daryl, for that question. We really appreciate it. If you have any more questions out there in Facebook or YouTube or LinkedIn or X, we are in all those locations looking to see if you have anything to say. So definitely bring us your questions. If not, we'll just keep talking about awesome things that we do. So
So how does one become a partner? I think that's something we can talk about. I
yeah,
think.
so
Go
on the
ahead.
agency side, becoming a partner is pretty simple. First of all, you want to work with us. That's the first step, right? Second
That's a
step
good
is
part of a partnership.
second step is we start a proof of concept with you. We'll help bring over your agency site to us if you want that to be your proof of concept, or we can work with one of your customers that is one of those. What was the term I've heard used before by other hosts? Oh yeah, special snowflakes. The sites that they don't know how to run and they don't want to run, right? So if you want to bring over the trouble site and bring them to us, we
Can I
are
stop you there,
great.
Zach?
Yes.
So I've never heard a hosting company talk about that. The special, like, they don't want those, right?
No, they
Most
don't.
hosting company. Okay, just making sure. A
Yeah,
little
no,
bit of
they
flavor.
they don't want the things that don't fit into their tiny little box, right? And the tiny little box is commodity hosting. And commodity hosting can't handle large traffic. So there's the reason why, these sites will fail. And it's because when you buy a place to put your business that's, next to the flea market in the bad part of town, you're asking for trouble. And the way these traditional commodity hosts work is they shove as many websites as they can onto one server, as many as they can. And if you have one noisy neighbor in that environment, that noisy neighbor who's taking resources can take so many resources that other sites end up being affected by it, right? So the noisy neighbor problem is a big one in the hosting world. And we don't do that. We don't have that. There's no noisy neighbors here, right? You have your own containers. This is not some server where you have to worry about a noisy neighbor. We have nice thick walls between our hosting plans, right? to
There you go. I
yeah,
like that.
to use apartments as an analogy, or townhomes, right? We have nice thick walls. They're well insulated. You don't have to worry about your noisy neighbor having an argument with their customers about how quickly they can check out.
It's kind of like a dedicated container. I didn't say server because that's
Yeah,
just one. It doesn't auto scale. It doesn't have a load balancing method. It's just a server, a piece of hardware, and max it out for you.
yeah,
This is more a dedicated infrastructure, a
exactly.
dedicated suite.
So yeah, I think that's an important thing. And then one of the other things with our agency partner program that's really a key differentiator is we are. So these are all new initiatives. We are starting to put all of our agency partners into a channel together to create a community of agency owners who are all trying to move forward together. And so in
Wow.
Slack, we'll have this channel where we can all talk about agency business. And let me tell you, as a former agency owner, the one thing I always wanted was a group of people that I could talk to so that I knew I wasn't in it alone, right?
Exactly. Any type of community motion is going to take everybody further in their enablement and comfort. So also a great time to idea share, brainstorm, see what's worked for other people. It's a very, proactive and helpful community. that we're looking to establish, and I'm super excited about it.
Yeah, me too. I think, the agency partner program is going to become a big part of how we focus our effort in the near future, in the near term, just because one, agency's success matters a ton to us, right? Our CEO came from the agency background. Tom worked in agencies. I worked in agencies. I owned an agency as well, right? So all those things matter. And, when you're working with a company that doesn't have people that understand who you are in it, it's very hard for them to serve you where you're at. So, and that's I
think
say
that's super important, dude. I said, dude, on live. That's super important. You have to know, like, the agency world. You have to know what the problems are, and to have roots in being an agency or coming from agencies. That's huge. That's something that's going to give perspective, unlike other hosting companies that have foundations in other things, where it's just another company that they're doing. Or this is it's special. It's intimate for us because it's our
yeah.
roots.
Yeah, and I think the key thing there, and this is kind of an interesting differentiator. One, I've said I was an agency owner, but I was also part of a group called Mavericks Club, right? And so run by Troy Dean. I was a Maverick, and we recently went to MavCon with Troy and with all of the agency owners who were in San Diego for that event. Really excited to be part of that community from this side, because when I was an agency owner, I was looking for partners who were willing to do the types of things that Convesio is willing to do. I wasn't looking for a vendor. I can find a vendor anywhere, but I was looking for partners. And, with what we've been able to do with growing the partner program here, we are really creating a true partnership. It's much more than just having a salesperson you can talk to and having one technical resource, maybe, right?
Right. That's a traditional model.
Yeah, it's a whole team of people, and my primary goal as, in running the agency partnerships program isn't to sell you more. It's to help you sell more. Because I know that if we help you sell more and we help you make more money, in the end, we're going to make more money too. And I think that differentiating factor is a huge thing. It's a huge differentiator between us and every other program I've been a part of.
Yeah, no one's going to hear me say, like, what do we got? What do we got on the books coming in for this month to my agency part? That's disgusting. What do we got coming to feed my wallet? That's not me. That's not Convesio.
No, it's, how can we help you? And we really take that from a service perspective. And, it's the same way that I lead my team internally here is the way that I, want to run this agency program. That's with a servant leadership mindset, right?
Beautiful.
We are here to help you do better work. And in the end, we're all going to succeed if we're all doing better work together.
Yeah, we love fostering relationships among the community where appropriate. It's just a beautiful thing as far as being able to help people get answers. And whatever happens after that, we're connecting a smart person to a smart person. That's the stuff I love doing. And there's a lot of talented, smart people in the agency program. So definitely excited about continuing efforts there and talking with everyone more.
Yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun, and we're just getting started. I mean, it's on the agency partnership side. That program is going to be growing by leaps and bounds, I think, in the next 6 to 12 months. And, we have lots of great plans. So as we have more to share there, of course, we'll share them here on office hours. I just want to open the floor just to make sure there aren't any other questions from our community. So if you do have a question, please put that into Facebook or YouTube or Twitter. X or LinkedIn. I still call it Twitter all the time. I can't call it X. It's weird.
I think that's a common problem.
It is. It is. I'm trying to fix it, but you know,
One day at a
it's
time, Zach.
sometimes I just want it all to happen at once, man. So, well, I guess that's a good place to start to close it up here. If you have questions that we didn't address here, or if you want to, as a result of what you've seen in this video, if you're watching it live or if you're watching it in the recording, if you want to talk to Eric or myself, please feel free to reach out to us. Our names are
Convesio.com or our names.
Yeah, our names are right there on the screen, and our email addresses are separated by a dot. Convesio.com. So,
Yep.
I said it that way so that AI didn't pick it up and put our email addresses everywhere.
What's AI?
Yeah, what's AI? There's a lot we can talk about, and if you want to just give us a shot on a site that's been, one of those special snowflakes for you, if you have a troubled child that you need help with, let us know, and we are happy to spin up a proof of concept for you at no cost and show you the difference. So awesome.
I think that's well said, and time to go through all our fan mail from last week's session, Zach. So
Oh boy.
thank you everybody for joining. It's been a great time. I always enjoy answering questions, talking with you, Zach, and just talking about some of the different things we do like we did today. So until next time.
Yeah, we'll see you next week. Same bat time, same bat channel, right?
Keep it real, Zach.